Hi everyone, in this video we'll discuss about how to renew your Canadian PR card. So the first step, log into this website and create your account. You basically have to create your account. If you don't have one, that is step number one. Assuming that you have created it, you have to go ahead and sign in. That is the next step. As soon as you sign in, you have to select either of the two options. The first option is permanent residence, including refugee resettlement, or PR card renewal and PR travel document. In this case, we are doing PR card renewal. So I select that. And the next one situation is, am I in Canada or outside Canada? I'm going to select Canada, assuming that you will be in Canada when you're renewing, most probably. And actually, you should be in Canada, ideally, when you're doing this. And agree with the disclaimer. All this details are quite important, so please go ahead, and if you agree with it, check the box and apply for a PR card. Please note that when you're applying for your permanent residency and you're landed in Canada or at the port of entry, you will automatically get the PR card sent to you, but this one is a renewal process. And here we come to the application itself, and you have to go through all these details about if you did receive a PR card or not, and then the whole application process begins. First selection, the first radio button is this an urgent or is it not, right? If it is urgent, please check that box, put your travel date. You have to obviously give reason about why it is urgent. Please note that because we have mentioned that it's urgent, that doesn't mean that they will process it urgently. But if it is urgent, it's urgent. But in this case, I'm selecting not urgent, so that date goes away. And here is where you have all the steps that you have to follow. You have to fill in IMM 5044, and then the document checklist, and all these other things are kind of optional. And then you have to upload the respective pictures and the extra documents and proof of your payment and declaration, and that should be it. So let's get right into this one. Step one here, we're going to go into IMM 5444. All right, let's start with filling out IMM 504. That's the application for PR card renewal. And I already filled out some info here, just for making it easier. So if you're filling it for the first time, you have to click that link there. And as you're going through this, I'm going to run through this real quick. So there are three options here, right? Renew your PR, replace a lost or stolen or damaged PR card, or obtain your first PR card. Assuming you're not doing any of these, so I'm just going to do a very simple one, renew your PR card. And this will be a UCI number that will be on all your immigration papers, CO, PR, and PR card and all that. So that should be a number. In the language of correspondence, obviously, English or French, whatever you have it, you're easy to select. And then date you became PR in Canada. This will be right behind your PR card. Very easy to find, or also on your COPR, confirmation of permanent residency paper. So pick that from there and put it in there. And place you became PR in Canada. Like what's your port of entry? That's what they're looking for. And I just put some data here, Toronto, Ontario. Let's say and then click save. Personal details, here is where your details come into play, right? So here, please make sure that your details are accurate and they are matching the COPR, right? And other documents. And if you have exceptions, obviously, let them know why it is. So you give your family name, and first name. And if you have ever changed your names, then you provide that. Very straightforward. And the physical characteristics of, very straightforward questions: gender, height, and birth information, your year, month, date, right? And country of birth. I just selected the first country there. Country and countries of territories of citizenship, right? So you have to mention what countries you have citizenship with, right? So here I just selected, this country here, and your current address in Canada, right? So give that address. And if that mailing address is a different one, then put it here. Otherwise, you don't have to. That's an optional thing. Your telephone numbers, if it's the cellular residence or business, please give that. And then if you have a secondary number, give that. And after that, there's very straightforward questions. They're asking you, would you like us to contact you using the email address provided to this account? So that would be actually your email that you use to log into this, setting up all this. If you want, IRCC to reach out to you, then just say yes. Otherwise, if you want to use a different email, click no, and then put that email in there. I'm just selecting yes. And I'm selecting, whatever the state of your marriage is, you can select. But in this case, I'm just selecting marriage and married, and then they'll ask you the date of the marriage date. Save and continue. All right, next page, immigration history. Have you ever been issued removal order from Canada? I'm assuming it's no, no interesting things here, just a very boring application. So no, never been done that, never received any inadmissibility 441 report. No. Have you ever lost PR? No. Have you ever submitted an appeal to IAD? No. Have you ever been issued the following PR travel document or travel document? No. Save and continue. Personal history. This is a little interesting what I've seen, that sometimes it's not quite obvious. So here, IRCC is asking us our address history for the last 5 years, right? Not from when we got our PR, but last 5 years from today's date, whenever you're applying this, submitting this application. So here, an important thing to note here, all these other things are pretty straightforward. So you just fill this information here and click that plus sign and then save table to make sure that your details are saved. So if you notice, I'm just saying here that from 2018 Jan 1st to 2023 Jan 1st, I lived it in this address here. And then if you notice, these two dates almost match, right? Because they overlap. If you try different dates, it wouldn't save. It basically will give you an error, basically saying you're missing a date, right? So please note, I think this one is kind of interesting how this data is taken here. And here, IRCC is asking you your work and education history in the last 5 years. Whatever you did, if you worked, unemployed, whatever details, I think you just put it in there, just and provide. Click save. Residency obligation time spent outside Canada. This is very important, right? To renew your PR card, you have to be physically present in Canada for certain days. And that is what they're checking it here in the last 5 years, right? Did you do that? So have you traveled outside Canada in the past 5 years? I'm saying, yes, I did. Have you ever been employed full-time by Canadian business or, federal or otherwise? Just saying no. I just went for a family trip or something like that, vacation. Have you been accompanying Canadian citizen? I'm just saying no. If these are yes, if you did work for a Canadian government and had to work outside, and obviously use this particular selections and move forward. Have you ever been accompanying a PR or a spousal? I'm just saying no as well. And this is kind of what they're looking for, right? So as of today, which is Feb 27, 2024, I am trying to submit this application. And so they're going back 5 years from today's date, and they want to know my presence where in Canada. And this is where they're asking, okay, where did I time spent outside Canada? So these are all the dates, right? What are my dates in the last 5 years when I left Canada? So I'm just saying here that for the 29 days, like in the 1st of January 2023 to 31st of January 2023, I left Canada, and I have to tell what city it is or what state, what country it is, and why it is, and then I click save, and that's what it is. And if you have other reasons, obviously, then please select. And there are some details here. Please take a look. And as soon as you save it, and it gives you this almost result here, basically saying that it looks like I meet the residency requirements. Because if I spend more than 1095 days in the last 5 years outside Canada, then this puts me in jeopardy, right? Now let's assuming that you are spending way more than that. Then there are reasons here that you can fill in some reasons, and these are basically it's humanitarian compassionate reasons, exceptions that you can put it in here, that they may look at it and they may consider it, but at their discretion, the IRCC. Then click complete and return application. Don't worry, you can still edit even though it says complete. So click that, go back. And this one is a pretty straightforward one. You just download the document checklist, and so download it and open it on your computer, and it opens it as a PDF, and check the boxes, whatever the applies to you. There'll be also IMM 504, passport photo, and other things. Just check that and then save that. Click save. There is a save button on the top, and click save. As soon as you click save, it saves, and you can use that same document. Try to open the document again and close it and open it, and then upload it here. That's very straightforward. If you're using a representative, obviously you have to download this IMM 5476 and go through all that stuff. Otherwise, no. And this is, authority to release personal information to a designated individual. If this applies, you have to follow that. If it doesn't, if you're just doing for yourself, then please go for it. A few other optional ones. This is an optional one. If it applies to you, please do it. And same as these three as well. Okay. After that, I think please go through this. By now, you should have already gone through these photo requirements and have gone to a photographer, a professional photographer, and have taken pictures, digital pictures, and also hard copy where they actually stamp in the back. They have to put the date, and you upload the digital one, the front picture right here. So you upload the picture, and you actually have to select here saying photo was taken by the professional and I got a digital, or photo was taken by them and I got a scanned one. So they want to know all this, and then you have to accept this, consent to that declaration. So upload that picture, the front one, and also the back one. Here is an important one. Now on the back, you have to write your name, your date of birth. Look at that one, name, date of birth, and also name, date of birth. Yeah, and the stamp of the photographer. So all that, you have to upload it here. After that comes an interesting one right here, right? So you have to upload a bunch of documents. Please, these are important ones, right? So take time and go through that. And another important thing to follow is there are some recommendations of the file names that the IRCC want you to use. So they want you to use your, let's say every file name should have, your last name, your first name, and actually what file that is, and maybe dash and some other number, right? So if this is, let's say, passport, I would put Wong-John-passport .pdf or something like that, right? It accepts PDF, JPG, JPEG, and PNG. Yeah. And there are also some restrictions about the size of the file, and there is pixels for the photographs. Okay. So generally speaking, I'm just going to go through this real quick here. So if you have a letter of explanation, obviously, please use it. If not, then don't worry about it. If you have travel logs, like you traveled quite a lot, then provide that as well, right? What are the dates you went in and out? Maybe more explanation to already the info you provided. Passport or primary document, your like main page, like as soon as you open the passport with your picture and everything. So they want that. And sometimes I think they also recommend giving the stamp of your port of entry as soon as you entered Canada. That also is pretty is recommended. So provide that as part of that. PR card front and back, right? Then you should have your PR card. So proof of residency in Canada. These are the ones that are interesting. And the instruction guide here goes through all that. So if you go through this instruction guide up here, there are some application guidelines. Go through that, and it'll tell you some of the documents it'll take. Residency proof could be your bank statements, your pay stubs, your tax or documents from your CRA, assessment documents and things like that. They give you all that list. Please go through that and provide those. Legal document of proof of name change, if it applies to your HNC, if it applies to your travel documents and passports. Some if you have multiple passports and others in the past, in the last 5 years, to do that. And if you need documents that are in non-English or French, then obviously you need all the translation things. Full-time Canadian employment outside Canada. Let's say you're working for government or you're traveling with your spouse who works for government outside or Canadian business. You need that marriage certificate. Upload your marriage certificate, PDF, and other documents that if they apply to you. And your driver's license, Canadian driver's license, yeah, and birth certificate if you're applying for a dependent, and other, right? So you can choose other and apply. If you have multiple documents that don't apply to any of this, you can select other and you can upload one document at a time. And as soon as you do that, all this list here, this will be filled up with those documents and their names. And you can, don't worry, you can edit it and you can re-upload it. And once that is done, then you have to start your declaration, basically saying, abide by all this, that it's you and your, which place you are, filling this and all that stuff. And that you are actually in Canada. And that's an updated history travel document. You're currently, so this is, are you currently out of Canada? So starting this application. So all that, you have to give all that information. Once you've given all that, there's one last piece here. It's for the payments. And this one is an interesting one, right? So it's a very easy one, but to apply for your payments, you have to click that link and try this, do this before you start your applications. It makes your life easier. So if you scroll down, you have to select your, okay, I want, let's say other services and continue. And this one is not what I need. So sorry, bear with me. As soon as I go back, I need this one right here, right? So permanent resident documents. And I don't need the travel documents. I'm just going to go ahead and put 0. Submit an empty form. I need one here, sorry. So assuming you're just applying for just one PR card, that's $50, right? 50 Canadian dollars, and that's it. And then you have to create your login. That's what I was going to tell you, is you have to create a login, and this login for this one is a different one than all this stuff, right? So you have 2 logins basically, right? And so and this payment login you can use for all your other payments as well. So you can keep it handy. And once you make the payment, you will get a payment proof. So print that or save that and upload it right here. Please note this is very important, right? You need to upload, you need to provide the fees, otherwise they will not review it. So, and then click submit your application. I think that's really it. As soon as you finish that, the next steps really is IRCC will send you a AOR or acknowledgement of receipt, and that usually, from what I see, it's maybe takes about 30-40 days, I suppose. And once you get it, that basically means that they received your application for permanent resident card renewal, and they have checked that you provided all the documentation, and they are now reviewing them. If all goes well, you should receive your PR card soon. If they need more information, or if the application is incomplete, they obviously will reach out to you. Please make sure that your emails from CIC is not going to your junk folder, right? When you actually create this application, you will get an email. Like when you create this login, you will get an email, and that is the email. Basically, all the emails will come from that same kind of email address. So keep that, let that not go into your spam. That's really it. So this is a simple process to apply for your PR card renewal. Let us know if you have any questions.